You're watching women's college gymnastics in the Mid-American Conference on ESPN. It's a snowy senior day here in Kalamazoo as Western Michigan plays host to another terrific team in Northern Illinois. Should be an exciting one, and we're ready to get this one started. And welcome into University Arena. Kenny Scherlinger here with Kim Dallas-Brown. Kim, we're 2 weeks away from the MACs here in the Mid-American Conference. What are going through these two teams heading into that?
They're just trying to finish out their regular season on a good note, working out any kinks they may have in their routines, in their lineups, and just looking to head into MACs confident, strong, and ready to challenge for the title.
The Huskies will start out on the bars here this afternoon, and one of their top performers on the bars, Natalie Ham.
Natalie is an incredible bar swinger. She is a two-time MAC champion, looking for that third one this year. She's also a MAC Specialist of the Year in 2001, and she is a nominee for that coveted 2023 AAI Honda Award. So we are here to see big things from Natalie Ham.
And the co-gymnast of the week in the Mid-American Conference for the third time this year, Peyton Murphy. She is a superstar here for the Broncos.
Peyton is one of the best gymnasts that I've ever seen here at Western. She literally is breaking records like it's her job week after week. Peyton is a MAC champion on beam and floor and a MAC Gymnast of the Year. She is definitely my pick for all-around champion at MACs this year, and I cannot wait to see what she does here in Kalamazoo on senior night.
We have an exciting one coming at you this afternoon on Senior Day here in Kalamazoo. It's Northern Illinois and Western Michigan. And welcome back into University Arena. Kenny Scherlinger alongside my partner Kim Dallas-Brown here as it is senior after senior day here at University Arena. And Kim, a lot of emotions going through the heads of the Broncos. There's a couple of seniors that will be returning back next year, but a couple that will be performing for the last time here at University Arena. So the emotions are high. How does that all kind of unfold here today?
Senior night is always tough on everyone, seniors included. The rest of the team, they just want to go out there and enjoy their last moments in their home arena before moving on.
And a fantastic national anthem here at University Arena. We're about to get rotation number 1 started as you take a look at Penny Jernigan, who is in her 10th season here at the helm of Western Michigan. And keeps on progressing this program more and more, Kim.
Penny is fantastic. She is looking to head into championship season and make a run at that MAC championship. But Penny is one of those coaches who just knows how to coach her team and knows what every aspect of the sport and what they need to succeed.
They're coming off a regional appearance down in the Auburn Regional last season. And on the other side, with NIU, Sam Moriali, who is in his 12th season in DeKalb at the helm of NIU, and he himself and his program have accomplished a lot in the Mid-American Conference.
Sam is another one of those coaches who knows exactly how to get the best out of his athletes. He knows what they need to succeed as well. He is a homegrown Illinois guy and just knows what to do with the Huskies and has so much pride in coaching that team.
A former gymnast himself at NIU in Sam Moriali, and he was a pleasure to talk to earlier this week as he feels like his team keeps on improving each week, and they are going to be moving into Max on a road stretch as they're going through the state of Michigan tour. After today, they'll also visit Michigan State next weekend. So they are going to be road warriors leading up to Max at Kent State in about 2 weeks. So that's what everybody is getting set for in the championship weeks ahead here in the month of March.
Absolutely. They are going to look for a great competition coming up and heading into Max, as you said, on the road, starting on bars each time, and they're ready to go.
That's something that he said that really could play an advantage for them, they will start on bars at the Max in a couple of weeks, and they get it started here, and we're going to get it started here in Kalamazoo. There's first touches underway. And let's take a look at the judging criteria for the bars as Northern Illinois and the Huskies will get it started. Kim, as you want to take us through these?
Absolutely. Judges will be looking for perfect handstands, major release moves and combinations, along with stuck dismounts. These teams are going to want to go out there and just fly as high as they can, swing as hard, and nail the landing.
And Coach Moriali feels like he has a very strong lineup on the bars, as he was highlighting a few of them as we take a look at the vault criteria. That's where Western will get it started here this afternoon. So take a look at Cassie St. Clair, who's going to be a superstar on the vault here today as well.
What the judges are looking for here on vault are those 10-0 start values, stuck landings, landing positions, height and distance from the table, and keeping it straight in between those lines.
Western has a number of different terrific vaulters in their lineup and usually start very strong, especially here at home. Talking to head coach Penny Jernigan, she's really proud of how they've performed, and like we mentioned, there's a couple different superstars there, and they're a really deep team, especially in the vault.
That's correct, and you'll see every vault with a twist, Yurchenko fulls. Cassie St. Clair is going to show us something special later in the lineup with a cause that we'll talk about, but they are a super strong vault team, and I'm looking forward to seeing what they're going to do here today.
And lineups always different strategies for different coaches and different teams, but as we take a look a little bit into those lineup strategy, Kim, let you take that away.
With vault lineups or with lineups for any event, it just depends on what you're looking for to get out of your lineup. A lot of teams will start with a strong competitor to begin and a super strong closer. However, it's important to take into consideration where the athletes are comfortable as well, because not everyone's going to put their strongest athlete at the end. Sometimes that athlete might not do well or like to go last, and they'll put her fourth. So it just depends on what the coach is looking to get out of a lineup and where athletes are comfortable in the lineup as well.
And speaking with Penny Jernigan and a couple times earlier this year, she spoke about how they practice the lineups just like they're in competition. So if somebody doesn't perform as well as they maybe wanted to, they kind of have to practice picking up the team in a team sport, which is kind of unique in college gymnastics.
Absolutely, and it's important to practice that way, to practice those lineups, to know who you're following, to know what the person in front of you needs, to know what the person behind you needs, and just practice with intent and for the day.
So the Broncos coming off a fantastic meet at George Washington. Both these teams come in here hot, as Northern Illinois also had a nice meet at Lindenwood last weekend, as they both continue Mid-American conference play here is, like we mentioned, the MAC championships right around the corner. And a special event, very fun event. I know you were on the call last year at Eastern Michigan. It's at Kent State this year, and it should be an exciting championships in the Mid-American Conference this year once again. And we're just about to get this one started here as you see the great crowd on hand here at University Arena. Starting with bars, let's take a look at the starting lineups for NIU. And Kim, they have some youth, some seniors, some juniors in there, and they have a strong lineup, as Sam Moriali spoke about earlier this week.
Absolutely. They almost are going in class order as they go down the line for bars here. We're going to start super strong, but we're going to end even stronger with Alyssa Elishari and Natalie Hamp. Look for those routines because those routines are killer.
Yeah, Coach Moriali highlighted Hamp, Brooklyn Spears, and Elishari as we get it started here with the senior on the vaults.
Ronnie Binstock did a beautiful Yurchenko full, slight hop on the landing, but overall a great start for the Broncos.
And a dry lick will get it started for NIU on the uneven bars, as NIU looking for a good start on the road.
She'll mount a high bar, that beautiful handstand right on top of the bar, working into her release, blind half to a straddle Jaeger. Heading right down to that low bar with that bail handstand. She is working through this routine nicely. She's going to gear up for that dismount. A little struggle on that handstand, but she's going to gear up for her dismount here. A nice double layout, a little piked in the hips, a little hop forward on that landing, but not a bad start.
So you see their teammates coming over and giving her some love, and now we go to Abby Singh, one of the two identical twins who is going to be vaulting today.
And Abby's going to do a Yurchenko layout half, which is a little different of a vault from the rest of her team. And she does this vault about as well as you can do it in terms of body shape, body line. This is a super strong vault for Abby.
Abby, the sophomore, getting going here.
That is almost as good as she can do that vault. Little hot step forward, but overall another great vault for the Broncos.
The teammates coming over and congratulating her. She's happy with that one. Take a look at that one here on the vaults.
She is super stretched and open. Just that small hop step forward, but that will only be about a 10th, half a 10th.
So that's going to take us back to the bars with NIU. Samantha Nickel, the freshman from Yorktown, Virginia. Waiting for the green light to go. Has a season high of a 9.800 back a couple weeks, or the 26th, so last week. They meet against Lindenwood.
And here we go. Nice amount to the high bar. A little short on that handstand from this angle. Blind half into a huge straddle Jaeger. She was well above that bar. Heading down to that low bar, nice pack. Oh, and she just slips off that bar. Get some words from the coach, pull it together, get ready to mount back up. Her hands just slipped right off.
How tough is it to gather yourself after coming down physically and mentally?
It just depends on what kind of fall you had. If it's just a simple hop off, fall off, it's usually easy to put it back together. Nice double layout. It's usually easy to put it back together. You just got to remember and remember what you know how to do, what you trained, and hop back on the bar. But some falls, if it's a crazy fall and it kind of stings for a second, it might take a bit longer. But they only have 45 seconds to remount the bar.
So here comes Hallie Faulkner.
Hallie's going to do a huge Yurchenko full. She flared that out. I like to I like to call that a little flare and float. She flared those arms and just floated right to that landing. That was a great vault for Hallie.
She was the co-MAC champ on the vault last year in the MACs, and good performance there. Good effort. Penny really liking that one. The hands both up in the air there.
It was good. That height distance from the table, that was a huge vault.
Take another look at this. Like we mentioned, the co-MAC champ last year on the vaults.
And you can definitely see why. Look how much height she gets, and she flares those arms open and looks for that landing. Slight shuffle of the feet backwards, but that's going to be a great score.
So on the bars, we'll head over to NIU once again. Isabella Cece, the all-arounder, a rock star for them. She is a sophomore, and Coach Sam Moriali couldn't speak more highly of her.
And she's going to get ready to mount the bar here. She's going to go to a cow hop into a nice piked Jaeger. A little close to the bar, knees a little bent on that, but she handled it nicely. Down to the low bar, bail handstand, nice handstand position there. And she's going to gear up for her dismount. That's a nice handstand, hit on top, right on top of the bar. Nice double layout, stuck landing, beautiful. She likes it, her team likes it. That was great.
Team really looks like likes that one. And there, NIU coming off a season high of a 4.9125 at Lindenwood last week. And we're quickly moving back to the vaults and Peyton Murphy.
And Peyton's going to do a Yurchenko full. Huge. She flared those arms out as well. A nice flare and float. And slightest bobble hop on that landing, but that was a huge vault. These vaults just keep getting higher and higher.
So with one all-arounder to another, Peyton Murphy, who we featured in the beginning of the broadcast, we'll be watching her all afternoon. She's a senior, but she will be returning to the Broncos next season, but kind of half celebrating senior day here this afternoon.
Yeah, a little half celebration. And there's somebody else who's celebrating senior day with her, and that is Peyton's Grandpa Hayes, who is homesick, but he is watching the broadcast, and he's having his own senior recognition party at home. So a big shout out to Grandpa Hayes. Hi, Grandpa Hayes.
Yeah, thank you for tuning in. And
we're glad you're watching to celebrate Peyton, and she's awesome. We love her.
We're going to head back over to bars. Brooklyn Sears, who is one of the three that head coach Sam Moriali mentioned is one of the stronger competitors here in uneven bars for NIU.
Nice pike Jaeger, a little close there, but very nice. She's going to right down to the low bar, and she is tiny, so she flies really well on bars. She has a career high of 9.9 on the event. Gearing up for that dismount. Nice full in. Oh, a little step back on that landing, but great routine for Brooklyn. And here we are with Cassie St. Clair. Get ready for this. She is going to do a cause. It's a round off onto the table entry with a full and half twist off in the opposite direction of what she enters. Bam. That is huge. She has stuck that vault before. That is a 10-0 start vault. That used to be a little scary for her when she was in club. Well, a little more scary for the rest of us to watch. It was kind of wonky, but in college, my God, she has really put it together, and that vault has come a long, long way. And it's a 10-0 start value. If they want to give her a 10, I think they should. There's only been 3 10s on vault in the MAC conference.
And she's been much CTV here on the vault, especially at home.
And this vault is huge. Super tight, great form. Look at that landing, and the excitement on her face says it all. They could just give her a 10. That'd be fine. One judge did give her a 10. One of the judges did give her a 10. That's been awesome. It'll average out because the other one gave her a 9.95, but one judge did give her a 10.
So back to bars here at NIU, Alyssa Alashari.
And And Alyssa is one of my favorite bar workers. Huge straddle Jaeger, super, super high in the air. Alyssa's been a bar worker since she was a kid. She used to do some pretty unique skills. She's a former elite, actually, so she definitely knows how to swing bars. Gearing up for the dismount, double layout, bam, nice landing, stuck landing. She just takes that right up into the air. She just has a natural bar swing.
So a strong start for NIU on the uneven bars, a strong start for the Broncos on the vaults. And Sarah Moravansky, who is another all-arounder here for the Broncos, ready to go.
And Sarah's gonna also do a Yurchenko full. It's the common vault here. Another one huge up into the air. A little bit of energy power with a hot back, but that was a great vault. This was a great vault rotation for the Broncos. They should be extremely happy with how they're starting out their meet.
So that will conclude the vault for the Broncos, and we head back over.
And Natalie Hamp is going to get ready for bars. Natalie is one of my absolute favorite athletes to watch on bars, especially with her dismount combination. You'll see why she's in the hunt for her third MAC bar title. Huge Tkachev, hitting all those handstands. Nice bail down to the low bar. And she's gonna gear up for this dismount. She is gonna, oh, well, that, I have never seen that from her. I've never seen her come off the bar. Just a little too much energy, and she took that handstand a little too hard and right off the bar. Okay.
She's gonna regroup. Looked a little surprised herself there when she came off the bar.
I mean, I can see why. I mean, that's something that she probably hasn't done in years, is cast over on a handstand. And she's just, everybody has one of those days, and that's why these meets before MAC championships are important, to work out those kinks and those bugs like that. But I don't think I can't remember the last time I've ever seen her cast over. But that's okay.
The replay on this one here.
Just gave it a little bit too much and got her feet on the other side, causing her back to arch, and it just took her right off the bar. Yep, and then she tries to save it by throwing her head forward. It just did not work on this one. Let's see what happens here. There we go, up to the handstand. She's gonna go blind full, right to immediate double layout, huge, stuck landing. A great way to finish that bar routine, stuck landing, but unfortunate that she had those issues in the interior routine.
So now we're gonna head to our exhibition spots. Danny Pachocek is gonna start it off here on the vaults.
And Danny also, she's gonna do a Yurchenko full. Another powerful athlete, another great vaulter, looking to break into that lineup. Kind of a hop on that landing. If she would soften the knees, she probably would have settled in a little bit better to be able to stick that.
Danny, who's be competing in a number of different events as well later on. Just outside that lineup, as Penny Jernigan said, that she's just right at the tails of the others.
And we're gonna get ready over here for NIU's exhibition routine on bars. This is Izzy West. And they're taking a little bit long with that, with Natalie's routine, but it looks like they're gonna get ready here soon.
And the score coming in for Cassie St. Clair. She broke the school record on the vaults and a new team vault record as well. So we'll get those scores in once we're finished with the exhibitions here, but congratulations to her. Couldn't write a better start for Western Michigan.
Absolutely. And Izzy's working through this routine nicely, getting ready to gear up for her dismount. Now they use these exhibition spots to see if athletes, what they're gonna score, to see if they can break into the lineup. Nice blindfold to a double tuck, slight step on the landing, but the routine, pretty solid.
We're gonna head back to the vault here. Donna Catherine Roy, the sophomore from South Carolina.
And she's gonna do a Yurchenko full as well. Little pike down in the hips, small slight hop back, but a nice vault for Donna Karen.
So that will conclude our vaults and our uneven bars. Exhibitions are done as well. We'll step aside for a quick break, and on the other side of the break, we'll get you the results from rotation number 1 here in Kalamazoo. Rotation number 1 is finished here in Kalamazoo. It was a fantastic start for Western Michigan on the vaults in Northern Illinois. Had some strong performances, but a couple different mishaps there as we take a look at the scores here on the uneven bars.
Yeah, NIU, they had a little trouble. A couple of routines in the middle from Isabella, Brooklyn, and Alyssa, very strong. However, our closer, Natalie Hamp, just did not fare well today. But overall, an okay start for NIU.
We take a look at the highlights here for Northern Illinois on the bars. Something they've gotten used to starting off with, being on the road, and they'll continue on the road the rest of the year here.
They've definitely had some great moments with Alishari's huge Jaeger and stuck landing, and a few moments that they just definitely need to work out and work on before the next one coming up.
And then to the vault, a new team vault record, school record for Western Michigan. This team keeps on breaking records like it's nobody's business. And then Cassie St. Clair, she tied the school record on the vaults with her tremendous, like we've talked about, her 10-0 star value. And one of the judges gave her a 10. You take a look here at that score.
I've been waiting for this. This is such a great vault. I knew eventually she would get a 10. Hopefully she can get a 10 from both judges next time. But this is huge. Breaking records. Western has broken every school record on every event. They just keep doing it week after week. They're breaking records like it's their job. These vault scores are insanely huge. This was a great opening for the Broncos, especially Cassie's 9925 right there.
Yeah, the 9925. That ties the school record there on the vaults. And then overall, the total score for the Broncos on the vaults sets a new record, school record, as the Broncos take the lead out of rotation number 1. We'll head to rotation number 2 when we come back, as both these teams will swap positions and we'll have more action here in Kalamazoo. Rotation number 2 about to get underway. Kenny Scherlinger here with Kim Dallas-Brown alongside you watching at home. It's a great Saturday afternoon or into the early evening here in Kalamazoo. A snowy day here as we had a big snowstorm last night, but senior day here celebrating the seniors for both these squads here. And we're in rotation number 2 as you take a look at Northern Illinois' Huskies and their lineup here on the vaults. Sierra Ryan, Isabel West.
This is a strong lineup for the Huskies, and we should see some pretty good vaults tonight, some huge landings from them. It's a good lineup.
So the Huskies starting out rotation number 2 on the vaults. The Broncos on the bars, and we'll get it started momentarily as we take a look at the Western Michigan Broncos bars lineup.
And here we go with Kiara Ryan from NIU on vault. She's going to do a Laconi, which is a full-on back pike off. A little low, but stuck landing, and they're giving her that stick crown that they carry with them. Overall, a solid start for the Huskies on vault.
So then we'll turn it back over to Western Michigan in the bars. Danny Petrosek will get it started for the Broncos.
And Danny's going to start out with a nice Tkachev, hitting all her handstands so far. Toe hand, almost a little short on that. Right down to that bail handstand onto the low bar. Back up to the high bar, getting ready for the dismount. She's gonna do blind full, right on top of the bar, to double pike. Small step back on the landing. She's done that double pike for many years now, so she knows definitely how to do it, where the floor is. If she was a little bit more open on her way down to the landing, she would have rocked it. But it's a good start. She's a great leadoff athlete for the Broncos.
So we're gonna head back to the vault. Isabel West here getting it started in the 2 spots for Northern Illinois.
And Izzy's going to do a Yurchenko full as well. A little form in the air, slightly piked down the landing. That's why she was forced to take those steps backwards. But overall, a solid vault.
Teammates running down the meter at the end there. And then we're going to head back with Western Michigan once again. Hallie Faulkner is take one more look here at the starting lineup for Western Michigan.
And this is a strong bar lineup for Western from beginning to end. You're going to see some huge release moves. You're going to see a very unique release when we get to Peyton Murphy. We'll talk about it. But we're going to head over to bars right now for Hallie, who is in our number 2 spot.
Hallie's coming off her season high of a 9.825 last week.
Nice Ginger. Huge Ginger right there. She's going to get ready to go down to the low bar with her bail a little short of that handstand. Back up to the high bar. She's going to gear up for her blind full double tuck. She had a little trouble on that first handstand, but solid routine. Teammates liked it.
The Broncos with another strong start on the bars. And we head back with Northern Illinois.
And this is Emma, and she is going to do a Yurchenko full. Nice. She let that set go right up into the air before she cranked that full twist. Nice, solid, straight body line. It was a great vault, great landing. Little shuffle back, but that should pull in a good score for the Huskies.
Well, Emma Berkeley with a solid score there on the vaults for Northern Illinois. And then back to the bars here with Western Michigan, Donna Catherine Roy.
What I love about this bar lineup is almost every athlete does some sort of release move that's different. There's not very many that do the same release. So it's fun to watch their bar lineup because somebody's doing something different all the time. It keeps it exciting.
She's coming off a season high of a 9.9 last week at the meet at George Washington.
Nice handstand right on top of the bar. And she is going to do a Maloney up to the high bar. Another toe handstand. Nice bail right to that handstand down to the low bar. This is a great routine. She has some beautiful form, beautiful handstands right on top of the bar. Getting ready for her double layout. Stuck landing. That was a great routine. She is going to be happy with that, as is her team.
As you can tell from the emotions on her face, she really likes that, what her teammates do as well. Back to the vaults once again with NIU.
And Kira O'Shea with a Yurchenko full as well. Nice landing overall. She just needs to soften those knees a little bit more to absorb that landing, decrease that small hop deduction. But that was a very nice vault. you can see, we're gonna watch it again. She's a little arm bend and shoulder angle on the table, slight pike, but if she would absorb the landing, she would be able to decrease deductions by getting rid of that hop.
For NIU on the vaults, Sam Moriali spoke about the vault and said, for lack of a better term, it might be their weakest event, but each week they keep on getting better and better and have been scoring recently on the vault, and you can see that here today.
And that's the goal, though. You want to keep getting better and better as the weeks progress. You don't want to peak in the middle of the season. You want to peak at the end and at max and when it counts.
Peyton Murphy on the bars now.
And we are in for a treat. This is one of the best bar routines I've seen. She does a very unique release move right here after her Cal hop. She'll go blind half into a Delchev, which is that unique release move right there. Nice handstand down to the low bar and right back up to the high bar. And this routine is just unique. Peyton has done many different bar dismounts, but this one is my favorite. Toe on front off with a half. She normally connects it to that blind full that you saw, but a little too much momentum coming out of that. She wasn't able to step into the dismount. She wasn't able to step in with the blind full, but handled it nicely.
Another all-arounder here, Isabella Cece on the vaults.
Another Yurchenko full. Slight shuffle of the feet back, but NIU is definitely answering the call that the Broncos made on vault.
So Cece follows up Peyton Murphy with another good vault there, and we're in for another treat with Sarah Moravansky due up here for the Broncos on the bars, who is also an all-arounder. So all three all-arounders back to back here.
And Sarah Moravansky, along with Peyton Murphy, they are both captains on this Broncos team. And they're both super strong all-arounders. Sarah is right nipping at the heels of Peyton each and every week. Right behind her with super high all-around scores.
And Coach Jernigan says that she is the driving force behind this team. Peyton Murphy, who is a nursing major, isn't at every practice, but Sarah Moravansky is really who pushes everybody and does not take a day off. Competes every day in practice, just like it's an event.
And she's going to do one of my favorite bar mounts here is the hop over the low bar. That is my absolute favorite into a huge straddle Jaeger right to immediate bail to the low bar. That is incredibly difficult to do. And she does it beautifully. Back up to the high bar, hitting these handstands, gearing up for this dismount. Huge double lay, step landing. That double layout rose over the high bar. Found that landing amazing. That was a great routine for Western Michigan. They should be happy with that.
So rounding out the vault lineup here, Emily Snock, who we've talked about with head coach Sam Moriali, who might be a little bit of an unsung hero, but a very capable gymnast here.
Absolutely. She is one of those athletes who is full of power, especially on the vault and the floor exercise. When we get to floor, her routine will be a treat, but she is one of those athletes that might be a little overlooked, but she definitely will deliver, and you can see why she is anchoring 2 events. She is one to watch out for.
So rounding out the bar lineup for Western Michigan is going to be Brecken Crofts. She gets sets, and for that we'll head to some exhibitions for both these teams on the vaults and the bars. Crofts is going to finish it up here.
And Brecken is pretty much on this team for uneven bars. She is another athlete who is a super strong bar worker, and you'll see why she is in the anchor position. She is beautiful to watch on this event.
And she's stepping in for Abby Singh, who is usually in the bar lineup, but due to a shoulder injury, she's not on the bars here this afternoon. And Brecken, last time we saw her was right here in the first meet of the season. They had a 9.825. So let's see how she closes it out here.
Huge Tkachev. Brecken and Natalie Hamp actually come from the same club gym along with Alyssa Alishari. So they have grown up together and all swing beautiful bars. So a little nod to their bar coach from club. A little crazy on that blind full, but she pulled it together to get around to that double tuck dismount. A little low on the landing, but she did not come off the bar.
So exhibition here on vault, Samantha Nickel stepping up here for NIU.
And nice Yurchenko full. Slight knee bend on the way down, a little sluggish on the table, but she had a pretty solid landing, kept it in between those lines. And again, looking to try to break into the lineup is what the exhibition spot is for.
And then another exhibition coming up here, the local talent out of Kalamazoo, Molly Freeman, who has walked onto the team here and is the energy behind this team. She's kind of a local legend with her mic'd up with Molly Mondays that they continued into the season, and they kind of just adapted it to road trips on the plane, on the bus, no matter what. But she's somebody who's trying to break into the lineup on uneven bars and has a lot of support, especially being the hometown kid.
And I absolutely love watching Molly, listening to Molly on her Mic'd Up Mondays. And I've known this athlete since she was super young, being from Michigan as well. So it's great to see her here in college, living the rock star life, being the local hero, and doing some great gymnastics. Huge pike Jaeger, a little close to the bar though. She took it really high up. She normally connects that pike Jaeger into that bail. Little handstand bobble at the top, nice blind full, right into that double tuck. Nice solid dismount there. And it's fun. Al Sharns has really seen that athlete grow up from a club athlete into a college athlete from branch gymnastics. So hers is a fun story to follow.
Jocelyn Harbeck here.
And Jocelyn is in another exhibition spot. A nice Yurchenko full, little slightly pike down in the hips, causing that step backwards. Her hand looked a little funky on the table, like it might have been a little turned when she hit the table for her block. But again, trying to break into that vault lineup for NIU.
So we'll step aside for another quick break as we tally up the scores here in rotation number 2 here in Kalamazoo. Much more women's college gymnastics in the Mid-American Conference when we come back. Back here in snowy but sunny Kalamazoo, Western Michigan after 2 rotations with the lead over Northern Illinois. We're through the vault, we're through the bars, and we head to beam and floor for these 2 next. As we take a look at the scores from rotation number 2, starting with Northern Illinois on the vaults.
NIU on the vault had some super solid scores. They answered almost right back to Western's vault scores. Lots of 9/8s. This was a solid vault rotation for the Huskies.
See right down the line there, a good performance as they've gotten better and better performing and scoring on the vault all season long. We take a look at some of the highlights here from the Huskies.
And Kiera Ryan started out with a strong stuck landing and to lead into the rest. Finishing with another nice stuck landing. It's a solid vault lineup, a solid vault rotation for NIU.
And then heading over to the uneven bars and the scores from the Broncos.
The Broncos are super strong on uneven bars. Almost all 9/8s, and you do get to drop 1 score. It's 5 scores count onto the 6, so they will drop that 9-6-2-5 and count the rest of their 9/8s. So again, another strong rotation for the Broncos.
So with that, we'll take also a look at the highlights from the bars from the Broncos. Danny Petrosek, strong performance. Peyton Murphy, or Hallie Faulkner.
Yeah. They kind of look like when you're flying through the air, all the brown hair. But
there's Peyton Murphy.
There's Peyton. She struggled a little bit today on bars, but she still hit a solid routine.
And then another all-arounder, Sarah Moravansky.
And Sarah hit bars from start to end. From the moment she hopped over to the moment her feet hit, she brought it on bars today.
So that's going to wrap it up for us. Rotation number 2. We got rotation number 3 coming up here at University Arena between the Huskies of Northern Illinois and the Broncos of Western Michigan. Rotation number 3 about to get underway. As you can see, the Broncos with a lead after 2 rotations. The Broncos will head to the beam and the Huskies will head to the floor. Let's take a look at the judging criteria here as Kim, our expert, will take us through.
The judging criteria, the judges are looking on floor for personality in their choreography, the performance value, strong landings on their tumbling, high E-rated tumbling passes, along with those 180-degree leaps and jumps.
And then we'll also take a look at the lineups here for Northern Illinois on the floor as they look to have another strong performance here and work their way back, chasing down the Broncos.
This is a solid lineup for the Huskies, and we are in for some fun floor routines.
Then we head over to the beam here with a senior, Ronnie Binstock, as we take a look at the judging criteria for the beam.
And on beam, judges are looking for confidence in their movements, sharp movements, solid landings, skill connections with their tumbling and their dance skills, along with 180-degree leaps and jumps.
So Ronnie Binstock will get us started here for the Broncos on the beam.
And that's a great mount, the hop over the beam backwards straddle mount. I love unique beam mounts. They're always fun and exciting to see something different. Nice beat jump, straddle quarter. That was a great 180, beautiful straddle position. Gearing up for her tumbling series here.
And Ronnie, one of the seniors,
back handspring
last
layout,
time here.
Solid. She is nicely working this beam. She looks so confident, enjoying this moment. The Broncos are a beam team. This is always a strong event for them. A little trouble with that switch half, a little lacking in her split position. Getting ready for the dismount. Round off 1.5. A slight hop forward on the landing, but the team loves it. It's a great leadoff routine for the Broncos. And Olivia Lind taking the floor here for NIU. Getting ready for her first tumbling pass here. Double pike. Lots of energy with a little hop backwards. And she is having fun with this routine.
The head coach of NIU, Sam Moriali, said he felt like this team could really do some damage on the floor. It's taken them a little bit more time than he expected, but again, they keep on getting better and better throughout the season.
And everybody loves floor. It's a fun event, really shows off your personality. The girls love to get into it, do each other's floor routines on the sides. We're going to gear up for our next tumbling pass. Front handspring, front full, front layout. May have stepped out there, may not have. I couldn't really tell. But if her foot did go over that line, it is a 1/10 deduction. But it might have been just on the line. I didn't see a hand go up from the judges, so
that's going to bring us over to beam and Danny Petrosek, who's going to be in the 2 position here behind Ronnie Binstock.
And Danny is lovely on the balance beam. She's going to start off with a wolf turn here, which is incredibly difficult. Let me tell you, I have tried it and I have fallen every time. It's not easy, so that was a great start for her. And the Broncos, I don't know what they do in practice, but their turns, their full turns are always amazing. Nice back handspring layout step out for her acro series. A little bit of knees and toes on that one, but she has beautiful toe point. Side aerial to a flutter jump. Throwing the Western Michigan WM in there. I love when they add those things into their routines. Switch leap to tuck 3/4 in almost a full. I think it's supposed to be a tuck full, but she kind of snuck that last quarter around there. And she's going to do a front full, laid out front full dismount. Beautiful routine. Definitely a beautiful routine from Danny. That should get a very nice score.
And you can see why that she's one of the key contributors here in scoring for the Broncos, as head coach Penny Jernigan has said multiple times. So we head back to the floor here after the beam with Danny Petrosek, NIU.
This is Kendall George, and she is a gymnast she's actually from Ohio. She's strong on floor, and we'll see her on the balance beam as well. I love her hair. It's very 1996. I used to have that hairstyle when I was a gymnast. I'm glad it's coming back. And getting ready for this first pass. Double pike, solid landing. She looked a little crooked in the air, like she only pushed off one arm in that back handspring. And this is some fun floor music. Next pass, round up full and a half. Punch front layout. Lost her legs a little bit underneath her. That's going to be a bit of a deduction for that low landing. A nice switch ring, switch half. I'm really digging her hairstyle. Now, if she adds a little glitter to that, it's definitely bringing back some childhood memories.
She's coming up a 9.725 last weekend at Lindenwood on the floor.
And this is a fun routine. This music is, I'm loving it. Getting ready for the last pass here. Double tuck. Solid. I love the backspin, how fun. And she finishes her routine with the Husky symbol. That was awesome.
So we're going to head back to the beam, and we're going to get it started once again with Western Michigan and Gigi Singh.
And I love the forward roll onto the beam, how fun. And we did see her twin sister on vault, so this is the other half of the Singh twins. And it's fun that they're twins, but they're different, doing, strong on different events. So that was a beautiful full turn from Gigi. Gearing up for her series here. Back handspring, layout step out. That is a beautiful triple series. incredibly difficult. 3 skills in a row on the balance beam. The beam is 4 inches wide or 10 centimeters. So you gotta be square and gotta be on. Nice flutter to straddle quarter. Straddle 3/4, excuse me. And she is working through this routine beautifully, gearing up for her second leap combo, which is that switch straddle, and working her way to her dismount. A gainer pike off the end. Beautiful, great landing. That was a solid routine for Gigi.
And head coach Penny Jernigan giving her congratulations there. She spoke about her this week, saying how she's really coming to her own confidence-wise on the beam and been in that 3 position all season long for the Broncos. Back to the floor here.
This is Kiara Ryan. She is strong on floor. We saw her stick her vault earlier, but now we're going to see her with some super strong tumbling. That is a front handspring, front double full, incredibly hard. This is super strong music. She's working her dance right to her teammates, getting ready for her leap combination. Beautiful straddle popa, which is a straddle full. And she does just a simple round off back tuck, which tells us that she is gonna do all forward tumbling passes. You have to have that backwards requirement in there, and if you're a forward tumbler, you will usually do a simple middle of the floor backwards tumbling. And here we go, front layout to a front Rudy, which is a 1.5 to end her routine. And ending with her Husky symbol. That was a great routine. She is such a strong tumbler.
So we're back to the beam here. Sarah Moravansky with the Broncos in the 4 spots.
And Sarah is an incredibly strong beam worker. 9.9 high score here on beam for her career high. And as Penny Jernigan told us when we spoke to her, she practices with intent. She practices like she's doing it in the meet every time. Beautiful triple flight series, back handspring, layout, step out, perfectly solid, perfect arms and legs. She is working this beam like she's on the floor. Nice switch leap to a layout, step out, standing layout, step out, incredibly difficult. You can definitely see the confidence she has in this routine. And I love her song choice. A lot of times the home teams will pick their own songs to perform to during the balance beam. Stuck landing, round off, 4.5 from a step, which is incredibly difficult. She didn't take a running start into that. Beautiful routine. She definitely, you can see, she practices with intent, like her coach said.
So back to NIU, Jacqueline Walensky.
And this is the first time we've seen her. And this routine is starting out with some super strong music. A nice double back, good landing. And that was beautiful. I feel like she is a dancer by nature. Nice turning leap into a nice full turn.
Coming up in 9.850 at Lindenwood this past weekend.
And this is a super fun routine. She is really working the floor. Great dance. You can tell she must have a dance background or really focuses on her dance. It just comes naturally. Getting ready for her last pass, front full to front layout. This is a fun routine. That was a great routine for the Huskies. That should bring in a pretty good score. And Amanda Gruber over on balance beam. This is her event. 9.95 career high. She is another one that just works beam with such confidence. So strong. She is so solid in all her movements. Sharp, high releve, beautiful full turn. Penny likes it.
And last year, a regional competitor just missed out on nationals, and Penny Jernigan said that she's really gunning to get to nationals this year.
And she only missed that national spot by 1 spot, so that she definitely has a goal and a focus for this year, and she is looking to be the first Bronco to qualify on balance beam. Beautiful cat leap to a switch half. She just competes with intent. Every movement from her arms down to her toes, her splits. This is gorgeous. Watching her on beam is poetry in motion.
She's a senior that will be returning next year.
And thank God, I'm so glad. I'm not ready for this beam routine to disappear. And a nice 1.5 stuck landing, and she held that stick to let you know that she stuck that landing. There was no issues there. Everyone loves it. That was an amazing routine from Sarah.
Looks like somebody who is on a mission from that performance. Isabella Cece here for NIU.
And this should be a fun one. Getting ready for her first tumbling pass. Round off double pike. She is one of a few athletes that we'll see today that has taken out the back handspring of her tumbling passes. She might have a back issue or something that's prohibiting her from doing a round off back handspring, but that's okay. She has enough power. Those Popa jumps, straddle fulls, gorgeous split position, hitting every single one of them. Round off 1.5 punch front pike for her second pass. Very nice. Breathing before she's going into her third pass here. Heading into her last pass, throwing a crown on her head and getting ready to go. And round off double back. Nice landing. Great finish, and that should bring in a great score for the Huskies.
So another all-arounder there, a great performance, and then right back to another all-arounder here on the beam, and Peyton Murphy.
And Peyton, another athlete who's gorgeous to watch on the balance beam. Her career high on this event is 9.925. She is just absolutely gorgeous on this event. Beautiful front toss in the pike position. Great landing.
MAC champion on the beam last year. A strong contender this year as well in 2 weeks.
Absolutely. She is flawless on this event. Backhand spring, layout step out series. She likes it. I love that look and smile on her face. Peyton is so confident on this event. She shows great extension in her movements from her toes to all the way through to her fingers. Split jump to a split ring. And a gainer full off the side. Beautiful. Teammates like it. She likes it. I'm sure Grandpa Hayes at home likes it.
So Emily Znock.
And this routine, you're in for a treat. She will open with a full in, which is incredibly difficult. Again, this is that athlete that we were talking about earlier that is a little overlooked, but is super solid. And this routine is going to be huge. And there's that full in, which is a full twisting double back. Oh, her facial expressions, I'm here for this.
And they feel that they're not as good of a team as without her. She's a big part of this team here at NIU.
Absolutely, and you can see why, especially on this floor routine. She is working this floor, crowd, judges. I absolutely love the facial expressions. She is getting into this great leaps and jumps there. Look at her with those dancing. She is giving it her all out there on the floor. And so are her teammates. I love when they do the routine with them on the sidelines.
She's coming into here today, back-to-back 9-9s on the floor.
And you can see why. Here we go for her last tumbling pass. Front layout. Rudy. Nice duck landing, a little step back, controlled lunge, threw that crown on her head at the end. That was gorgeous. This routine is, wow, that was an amazing routine. So good, so good.
So now we head to our exhibition portions, and here on the beam, Josie Thomas, who's been through just about it all, came into this year in the fall with a broken foot, has been working her way back, and a couple weeks ago was hit by a car coming out of the grocery store. She shook that off and never missed practice, so just like an absolute warrior out there.
It's incredible. You come back from one injury and then you just go to buy your groceries and you get hit by a car. But she, from what they said, is she fell down and just popped right back up, like most athletes would, tucked and rolled out of it like a ninja. Just some scrapes and bruises, but it's nice to see her back and in a performance mode, trying to break into that beam lineup.
Yeah, before the injury, she has been, for the last 3 years, a huge part of the beam lineup here at Western Michigan. Was part of the team that broke the beam school record at the MAC championships last year. We're just getting word that the Broncos broke a school record for the beam as well, 4.9375. So
beautiful dismount, nice stuck landing, gainer pike off the end, and her teammates love that.
Just about every event now, week in and week out, the Broncos seem to be breaking records.
They literally break these records like it's their job, I'm telling you.
Adam Bonder, the SID here for the gymnastics program, very busy during the week.
And this is Grace Humphreys on floor from NIU in the exhibition spot. And this is a fun routine, great music. She has lovely toe point. Those straddle jumps, maxing them out more than 180. I am digging this routine. Getting ready for her next tumbling pass. Full front layout. She is lovely on this event. A beautiful dancer. I love to just enjoy the routines and watch them. And this is one of those routines that I just think it's beautiful. I love watching it. Nice last tumbling pass. And a strong finish. That was a great routine. Hopefully she will break into this NIU lineup soon, because that was absolutely a wonderful treat.
So Donna Catherine Roy will be another exhibition performer here on the beam, who also has another cool story. She's a sophomore from South Carolina and committed over COVID, did not even come up to Kalamazoo to see the school. Just liked what she heard on the phone with Penny Jernigan and company and decided to commit right then and there. And seems to be working out fine for her.
Absolutely, and that was a cool move, right back up onto the beam on the toe stand. But yeah, I remember talking to Penny about this a couple times, about this athlete and how she just, first time seeing campus was when she was moving into campus. So she definitely knew that this was her home even before seeing it. Nice back handspring layout series. Blew a little kiss to the beam, I liked that. And this is a great routine. Beautiful 180-degree switch leap. Little trouble on that switch half, but she is moving through this routine beautifully. I love the smiles. You can tell she is just loving being up on that balance beam. And gainer full off the sides. Nice stuck landing. That was a great, great routine from DK.
So that's going to wrap it up here for rotation number 3. Terrific job for both of those squads there on the beam and the floor, and we'll come back with the results. Western still with a lead here over Northern Illinois as we will wrap up rotation number 3, moving into rotation number 4. Back here at University Arena. Rotation number 3 is in the books. Let's take a look at what happened in rotation number 3. First for the visitors, Northern Illinois, who are on the floor for that rotation. Some strong performances, Kim.
Absolutely. They went out there and hit their routines, showed great tumbling, great jumps and leaps. Amazing personality. You can see their scores here. Emily Snock at the end with a 9.9. Definitely well-deserved, but great scores throughout. A little bump with Kendall George in the middle of that 9.5, but they will get to drop that. So the other 5 scores are pretty solid scores for NIU on the floor.
So Emily Snock gets her 3rd straight 9.9 on the floor. So she's the very consistent performer there on the floor for NIU as we take a look at the highlights from the floor routines.
And you can definitely see these routines were fun, they were exciting. And all of them incorporated their Husky symbol. Nice strong tumbling from each athlete. Definitely fun routines and a great way to cap off the 3rd rotation.
The all-arounder there for NIU. Cece and moving down the line.
I absolutely love her floor routine, her facial expressions, especially after that full in. Such a fun routine.
And then another record-breaking afternoon here for Western Michigan. They shatter break another school record. 4.9.375, which they break the record from last year against MSU up in East Lansing. All over the board. Terrific performances.
Absolutely, and they're going to drop a 9.75, and that is incredible to be able to drop that as your low score, because that's still a solid score. But looking at the 3 athletes that went on the end, 9.9 for Moravanski, 9.925 for Gruber, and Murphy rounding it out with a 9.9. Such strong beam workers, and again, just breaking records like it's their jobs.
The previous record was a 4.9275. The Broncos break that there with this beam performance. Brownie Binstock, the senior, on senior day, gets us started.
Looking at these highlights, these routines, from start to finish, from the first person to the last person in the lineup, where you can tell that they practice with intent, you can tell that they work on these routines. Just fantastic from the beginning to the end, and we see Moravanski there with that beautiful triple flight, and Gruber solid all the way to the fingertips, to that stuck rocks landing. And then Peyton with the expression and a beautiful landing to cap off that event for the Broncos.
So we put a cap on rotation number 3 here in Kalamazoo. The Broncos still with the lead. They're looking for another MAC championship in a couple of weeks. Rotation number 4 on deck here on Senior Day. Back here at Kalamazoo, Kenny Scherlinger alongside Kim Dallas Brown as we are about to get rotation number 4 started. The Broncos will head to the floor, NIU will head to the beam. We'll close it out here on senior day. Taking a look at the Huskies in their beam lineup. That's been a very solid event for them all season long.
Beam is a solid event for the Huskies from start to finish. You're going to see some unique skills, some unique mounts. I can't wait for you to see Olivia Linz and especially Alyssa Alishari, who has been a star on the balance beam. You are in for a treat.
As Sam Morale spoke about how they started here on the bars, they'll start on the bars in the MAC championships. They'll also end on the beam. So starting and finishing with 2 rock solid events for them, and they look to finish this meet strong here on the beam. And as we take a look over to the floor, which is Western, and they have really shined on the floor all season long. Breaking records left and right on this too.
Always.
Peyton Murphy and company. Let's take us through this lineup here, Kim.
This lineup is incredible from start to finish again. You are in for fun routines, high tumbling, beautiful leaps and jumps, especially coming from Cassie St. Clair and Peyton Murphy. Those 2 routines will be a treat to close out the meet.
Just waiting for the go here for both of these squads here as we're in the final rotation.
And Kendall George is going to be up on beam here first from NIU. And she is a incredibly strong beam worker. She is a great athlete to open this event for the Huskies. Solid back handspring layout step out. Nice full turn. She is working this beam very confidently and aggressive. Front toss, solid, not even a hint of movement there. Nice switch leap into a split 3/4. And she's gearing up for her dismount here. Round off 1.5. Stuck landing. She almost lost it, but she held on to that. You can definitely tell she is a veteran when it comes to being in the first spot of that beam lineup.
So we get it started from the get-go here on the floor. Sarah Moravanski, the all-arounder, getting it started here for the Broncos.
And this will be a fun routine to watch as we are gearing up for her first tumbling pass here.
Strong 9.7 average here this year on the floor.
She's a great athlete to open for the Broncos. Nice double pike for the first pass. Teammates getting into her routine on the sidelines with her.
And for those watching at home who maybe never been on the floor, how bouncy is that?
It's pretty bouncy. She stepped out of bounds on that. As you can see, she's had a little too much power and energy, and with the bounce of the floor, it caused her to go out of bounds, which is a 10th deduction. But it's pretty bouncy. I mean, it's a 40-by-40 floor with loads of springs in it, and I mean, it's not trampoline bouncy, but it does help you out. Especially nowadays, these newer floors. This is a Spieth floor, and these are sometimes can be extra bouncy. But if you stay tight in your tumbling and your jumps, those floors and those springs will take you right up into the air. Getting ready for her last tumbling pass. Front layout, front full. Solid routine to open for the Broncos on floor.
There's Sarah Moravanski will make her way down the line of her teammates, congratulating her on the first floor routine for the Broncos. We head back to the beam with NIU and Olivia Lind.
And Olivia, I have seen her since she was a young athlete. She's from Ohio. Her beam mount was always one of my favorites. She used to do a Silavash or a Mucianu beam mount, where she turns on her shoulders down the beam, but she has simplified it, just going from a backward shoulder stand into a cartwheel to her bottom on the beam. But I have always loved watching this athlete on balance beam. It's always been a strong, strong event for Olivia. Getting ready for her acro series, back handspring, layout, step out. That's another one of those triple series. Incredibly difficult to stay super straight on 4 inches of balance beam. And she is moving through this routine beautifully. Switch leap, split half, a little missing of that 180 split requirement on that split half. Getting ready for her dismount here. And a round off 1.5, stuck landing. Great routine for Olivia.
Go back to the floor here with the Broncos, Dani Petrosek, the Illinois native.
And she is one of those solid, consistent competitors. You can count on Dani on almost any event to deliver a solid routine. Nice double tuck right up in the air. Beautiful form on that double tuck. Knees were glued together, toes pointed, but she just took that right straight vertical, which is incredible. Front full, front layout. I love when this pass, she dances right out of it. She doesn't finish and salute like everyone else. She just does that beautiful hop out of it. Nice split to wolf full.
Her season high and career high was the last ESPN broadcast we had against Eastern, a 9-9 on the floor.
And that was, this routine is so fun. I love the intricate floor dance and floor movements she does. She's breathing, getting ready for that last tumbling pass here. Double pike. Nice controlled landing. And right to the ending. Beautiful. That was a great routine from Dani.
So we head back to the all-arounder Isabella Cece, who is a superstar for them, all-arounder sophomore. Sam Morali just spoke about how when the lights come on, she really shows up.
Absolutely, she is a gamer. He said that she is a gamer. She's here to compete. She likes to compete. And she just has stepped up this year and taken over that all-around role. And she is working through this beam routine very well. Nice confidence. I love when they do their dance and look away from the balance beam. Nice split quarter.
Coming off a 9.85 last weekend in Lindenwood.
Shows great extension in her movements. Getting ready for that dismount. One and a double full, round of double full. Beautiful.
So Ronnie Binstock now, the senior on senior day, looking for a strong performance. Tied with her teammate, Dani Petrosek, in the 2021 MAC championships on the floor.
And her career high on this event is a 9.9. And this should be fun to watch, getting ready for her first tumbling pass. Front handspring. front handspring full and a half, back full to a straddle jump. That is incredibly difficult. A lot is happening in that pass. A lot of twisting is happening in that pass. This is a fun routine for sure. Getting ready for that, her next tumbling pass here. Nice double pike, stuck landing, rocked that landing. Her teammates love it, she loves it. So super solid. What a way to end senior day for her. Incredible.
And she gets a great reaction from the crowd here. Her final floor routine here at University Arena. A terrific career for her. Part of the senior class that really got this program rolling here, as Penny Jernigan talked about earlier this week. So that's going to bring us back to the beam with NIU. Brooklyn Sears in the 4 position. We take a look one more time here.
Front handspring, front 1.5 to a back full straddle jump. That is incredibly, incredibly difficult.
A terrific floor routine there for the senior. Just waiting for the go over there on the beam.
I think her tumbling pass is one of my new favorite tumbling passes. That first pass, that is incredibly difficult. I can't even get over that. So good.
So waiting for the score there for Ronnie. Senior from Severna Park, Maryland.
And it looks like one of the judges gave her a 10. So 9.925 for her, for Ronnie. One of the judges did give her a 10. That is fantastic. They're just killing it today, these Broncos.
And they really feed off the energy here at home. A little bit less of a crowd here today, but given the weather, a good crowd. They've had a lot of great crowds the last couple home events here, home meets, and you should see the autograph line too after, with all the gymnasts and all the young gymnasts in the area. So Brooklyn Sears now on the beam.
And Brooklyn's career high on beam is 9.875. She is a strong beam worker. She's in a good spot. She's only competing 2 events this season for the Huskies. Last year, she competed all around, hitting 39 plus. Again, working the balance beam with such confidence. Sharp movements. Beautiful split to a straddle half. Really showing extension in both those jumps. Gearing up for her dismount, round off 1.5, slight step forward. Just a little too much power, a little too much energy in that one.
So back to the floor here. Donna Catherine Roy, who we've spoken about a few times here during the broadcast, from South Carolina, committed to the Broncos without seeing the campus, and a terrific floor routine here for the Broncos.
And she has a career high of 9.9 on floor. First tumbling pass. Beautiful full in. That is huge. It's one of those E-rated passes.
Her season high at 9.875 in the first home event, the tri-meet earlier in the season here at home.
She is working through this routine beautifully. Great extension in those leaps and jumps. 180-degree split. only a sophomore. She has 2 more years on this team. She is going to definitely be one to watch in the next 2 years for the Broncos. Front tuck step out through to round off double back. I love that pass. Another one of my favorites. Great routine from Donna Karen Roy.
Ellery Warner here on the beam for Northern Illinois as you see. She gets on.
And this is the only event she is competing in tonight. Beautiful full turn. I love a good full turn. I love to see high releve, no wobble. She has great toe point and extension. A little bobble on that front aerial. Backhand spring, layout step out. I'm assuming her plan was to connect those 3 skills together, but covered it nicely by doing a couple poses and going into her series.
Just holding on there.
Just some balance checks in this routine. Backhand spring, gainer full off the side. She's not going to be super happy with that routine, but she did have great extension, great lines.
So Cassie St. Clair now back on the floor. She's coming into this floor routine with 3 straight 9-9s.
Her season high is a 9.925, well, her career high, excuse me, is a 9.925. So she is very capable of throwing a big score here on floor. She is a powerful athlete. This floor routine is huge. 1.5 to punch front layout. I love the facial expressions that she shows in this routine. She really gets into it.
She really seems like she feeds off her own energy she creates.
She absolutely does. I feel like she could probably do this routine alone in this arena by herself and still have that same energy. And there's her uneven bar release on the floor. That's what it looks like. She doesn't do bars, so that is her bars, as we talked about with Penny.
And her teammates certainly providing energy too. Broncos always showing a lot of energy in the sidelines there.
She just has springs in her legs. She is so high. She was over her teammates' heads in that jump combination. And we are getting ready for her last pass here. Front double full that she probably could have punched out of or done some more twists, because that was incredibly huge. So much energy, so much power.
So that's going to take us, you see Cassie getting some love for the coaching staff here at Western Michigan. It's going to take us to the beam once again. Alyssa Alashari will round out the lineup here.
And her high on beam is a 9.925, and this beam routine is simply poetry in motion. You watch her work this balance beam, you think you're watching her walk down the sidewalk from start to finish. This is a huge mount that she brought back in college. She used to do this as an elite athlete. She's going to do a round off onto the springboard, back layout, step out onto the beam. A little trouble today with it, but it is such a super difficult mount. I was so excited when I saw that she brought that back. Backhand spring layout step out. Just a little off today. Normally she is super solid on this event. Beautiful full turn. That full turn was exquisite. Textbook full turn there. Held right up on that releve, extension all the way through her heel, toe, ankle. Just amazing. Split jump to a stag ring leap jump. Breathing a little bit, getting ready for her dismount here. round off 1.5 stuck landing. So she started out, had some trouble in the beginning, but ended with a beautiful stuck landing.
So that's going to bring us to Peyton Murphy here, just to set the scene for you. 2 home meets ago, a 9.975 against Eastern Michigan, tied a school record. Must-see TV here.
This is one of my favorite routines from Peyton. I'm watching for her heels. She kept them all the way inbounds this week. Front through to double tuck, huge. She's another athlete that has taken out of the back handspring of her tumbling pass. This is one of my favorite routines of hers to watch. She just performs it so well. She has the facial expressions, and it really goes with her personality. Switch ring to split full. She's a little bit of a taller athlete, especially compared to Cassie. She looks so beautiful, and let's see how high this is. That Rudy to straddle jump, that was about 1.5 L Sharns above the floor. I use L Sharn as my unit of measurement when I measure Peyton's tumbling pass. I even made a graphic for it last year, but that straddle jump coming out of that Rudy is so unbelievably high.
We'll get to that graphic after the routine here.
You can literally probably drive a car right under her. And she's getting ready for the last tumbling pass. Round up, double pike, beautiful. What a finish. What a finish. I'm waiting for this routine to go 10. I'm waiting for it. They could do it today. Yeah.
So Samantha Nickel, the exhibitionist here for NIU and the beam. Yeah, here we go.
Yeah, this is my L Sharns unit of measurement. I made this during COVID because you can see he's still wearing a mask. But this is how I measure things in gymnastics, especially with Peyton and especially with Western, but I will use it all the time. It's my L Sharns unit of measurement. And as you can see in that one, she was 2 L Sharns above the floor. And today she was about 2 L Sharns above the floor as well. So great routine there from Peyton Murphy. And the judges, I'm seeing some red numbers. So one judge gave her a 10. The other judge a 9, a 9-9. So that'll even out. But one judge did give her a 10. So 9.925 for her on the floor. Incredible.
A couple more exhibitions here for both these teams here before we close it out. Western up comfortably here.
And that was Samantha Nickel in the exhibition spot for NIU. Had a few wobbles and bobbles in the routine, but she closed it out with a great.
And a 9.925 coming in for Peyton Murphy there on the floor.
Yeah, I think I jumped the gun a little bit given that score out since I can see the judges.
Yeah.
I can see the judges' score. I can see their scorecards.
So we're just waiting here. Amanda Gruber will be an exhibition here on the floor. So they're sorting it out here. University Arena.
And Amanda Gruber, this will be a floor routine to watch. She has always had such fun floor routines. She was always one of my favorites in club. She just does different dance moves, different choreography. It's so fun. This is one of those routines you just want to sit and enjoy because it's.
And she's right there to break into this lineup as well.
Front layout to a front 4.5. And this is absolutely one of my favorite routines. She just shows it off. She looks like she's having just such a great time on the floor. And I definitely hope she can get back into a floor lineup because this is one of those routines that you want in your floor lineup for sure. Solid double tuck. Everyone liked that. Great form. Switch side to a Popa straddle full. What a great routine for Amanda Gruber.
So one more exhibition here on the beam, NIU. It's going to be Sammy DiFabrizio.
That's a name.
Yeah.
I like that they gave us pronunciations on how to pronounce some of those names.
100%.
Because, whew,
NIU making us work.
absolutely they are. Nice front aerial. Oh, kind of soft in the leg, but she pulled it. She pulled it together, did not come off the beam. Getting ready for her series. Back handspring, layout, step out. Hold on. And she held on to it. That was fantastic. She was definitely off, but she was not coming off that beam. She held on to that. And that is incredibly hard to do sometimes, to pull it back together after you've had such a huge wobble. Nice split. Straddle 3/4. She is moving nicely through this routine into her dismount. Round off full and a half. Nice stuck landing. That was a great routine. A little bit of trouble with her tumbling acro series, but a great routine.
So that's going to finish rotation number 4. We'll wrap this one up. We'll get the final results. Rotation number 4. Looks like Western's going to come away with a victory, but lots to sort out here from Kalamazoo. Welcome back here to Kalamazoo as we just wrapped up rotation number 4. Western Michigan looks like they're going to win this one unofficially right now. We're still waiting for official results, but coming away with a victory here over NIU. Let's take a look at Northern Illinois and their balance beam results.
Pretty solid here for NIU. I'm not sure what the zeros for Isabella Cicio. Okay.
And then we'll head to the highlights as well here for NIU on the beam.
Okay, here's the scores. There we are. 9-8 for Isabella Cici. That looks better. Great scores all around from NIU. These are some solid routines that they showed. This was an overall great beam set. A few little wobbles and bobbles to work out, but not bad for today.
So now we'll head over to the highlights and see what is behind those scores there for NIU.
And they started with Kendall George, who is a beautiful and perfect lead off on balance beam for this team. Then Olivia Lind with a rock solid dismount right there, as you can see. And Isabella Cici, another solid routine and solid all around her. And then our anchor, Alyssa Elishari, opening with a little bit of trouble, but closing with a beautiful stuck dismount. What a way to finish balance beam.
And then back to the floor here, Western Michigan, a new school overall team record as well as that comes in, but they really had a strong performance on the floor. Ronnie Binstock, a new career high, 9.925 here on senior day.
This was quite a rotation for the Broncos. They're going to throw out a 9.65, but 2 athletes were awarded 10s from the judges, at least one judge gave Ronnie Binstock and Peyton Murphy both a 10.0, rounding out their scores to 9.925s, which for Ronnie, that was her career high. What a way to close out her senior day, her senior year here at Western Michigan. This floor lineup was incredible.
So let's take a look at what was behind those scores and the floor routines as they got it started off. Very strong. Sarah Borvansky, Penny Petrosek.
From start to finish, this floor lineup just brought tumbling. They brought their dance. And here's Ronnie Binstock with that unique tumbling pass. She was about 1.5 L-sharns above the floor as well in her straddle jump with that stuck landing.
And what a way to finish out your career here at home with Western Michigan with that floor routine. And then Cassie St. Clair, the sophomore.
And Cassie showed some great tumbling, facial expressions. That was a routine to watch. And here finishing it out with Peyton Murphy. One judge gave her a 10, 9.925. What a floor routine. What a way to close out senior day for these athletes.
And they're going through the senior day festivities here right now. Ronnie Binstock getting honored. She is one of the seniors that will be graduating and moving on from her career at Western Michigan. Also, we want to give a shout out to Charlotte Tishkoff, who's a student assistant the last 2 years. She had a back injury that forced her to retire last fall. Her freshman year in that class, she came in with Ronnie and company, and they were part of the class that Penny Jernigan was talking about. That was the turning point that really got this program clicking on all cylinders. Charlotte was an all-arounder in 2020, and it was kind of overshadowed a little bit after everything that was going on. And she was all-rounder that led them to that 2020 regular season championship, and has done a tremendous job in the student assistant role. So she stepped in with Peyton Murphy, was injured with her neck injury, and Charlotte Tishkoff, also a senior who's being honored outside of Josie Thomas, who's going to be returning. Amanda Gruber will be returning next year, as well as Peyton Murphy. So the seniors getting their proper send-off as we see it right now.
Absolutely, and I love her dad's hat that he's wearing. He has a Bronco hat. Senior days are always super emotional for everyone. I know I get a little choked up because I know a lot of these athletes, and I've seen a lot of them since they were young, especially any of them from Region 5. So what a special moment to be able to celebrate these seniors and be here on senior days. I love being in the gyms on their senior days. It's just a special, special day for everyone. And as they're playing these videos, give me some Kleenex because I'm a sap these days. So super, so special.
And a big shout out to the Bronco Productions crew that was putting those together all week long. And Ronnie Binstock really just took the emotions of today and just poured it all into that floor routine.
And she absolutely did. And what a note to end on with that floor routine. What a way to close out your time here at Western, and this being the last home meet.
As you see, Charlotte Tishkoff, who's being honored as well, like we mentioned. Her career cut short a little bit, but still finding a way to contribute to her team, and they're breaking records left and right. And you're going to have to believe that if she wasn't a part of it, they probably wouldn't be breaking these records. So she had a terrific couple of years competing for the Broncos, and a big part behind the scenes of this coaching staff as a student.
And it's nice that she could still be part of the team and involved and have a senior night with her teammates and her classmates. It's so important. And these athletes that become student managers or student coaches, they are so important to the everyday runnings of these teams, and they do so much for their athletes, for their friends, that they do play a pivotal role. Even if they aren't out there competing and in a leotard, they still are moving mats and setting bars and making sure their teammates are taken care of. And it's great that she's being honored here tonight.
So as you see Charlotte Tiskoff getting the pictures here one last time here at University Arena in front of the crowd here and the fans, giving both the seniors who are a part of the program a good standing ovation. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, we'll get you the results from this one. Western Michigan wins it, but we'll get you the individual results when we come back. Back here at Kalamazoo, let's throw it to PA announcer Claude Little and listen in on the results here individually.
Your individual results on the uneven parallel bars. We have a tie for second place with scores of 9.875. Your Bronco, Sarah Morvansky. Also your Bronco, Peyton Murphy. Your first place winner with a score of 9.900 from Northern Illinois, Alyssa Alashari. Your individual results on balance beam, a tie for second place with scores of 9.900. Your Bronco, Peyton Murphy. Your Bronco, Sarah Moransky. And your first place winner with a score of 9.925, your Bronco, Amanda Gruber. Your individual results on floor exercise. We have a tie for third place with a scores of 9.900 from Northern Illinois, Emily Snock. Your Broncos, Donna Catherine Roy. And we have a tie for first place with scores of 9.925. Your Bronco, Peyton Murphy. And also your Bronco, Ronnie Benstock. And your all-around results. In third place, with a score of 39.250, your Bronco, Sarah Morvansky. In second place with a score of 39.325 from Northern Illinois, Isabella Cece. And in first place with a score of 39.550 and has broke her own all-around record, your Bronco, Peyton Murphy. And now, for the team results for the overall meet, your runner-up with a score of 195.450, the Huskies of Northern Illinois University. And your winner of today's meet, breaking the school record with a 197.100. This includes a new team vault record of 49.250, a beam record of 49.325. Your winner, the Broncos of Western Michigan University.
And we're back here, Kenny Scherlinger, Kim Dallas-Brown here. As you can see, Western Michigan shattering another record. They just keep on ripping out the record books. A 197.100 new school record. Overall record, they break the 196.725 they had at Michigan State last March. And again, Peyton Murphy, Cassie St. Clair, they both record breakers. Peyton Murphy, again, breaks her all-around record. She broke it last week in George Washington. That's the second time, or the third time she's done it this year. And Cassie St. Clair also in the vault. The team record also in the vaults, school record, and it's just tough to keep up with them.
It is. They just keep week after week breaking record after record, and as I said at the top of the show, they breaking records like it's their job. I mean, they are just going to keep going up. This team is incredible. This is such a great team, and to think, like, Peyton is going to be back another year, so more opportunities just to keep skyrocketing and keep breaking those records. And I don't think she goes out every day trying to break that record. That's probably not the first thing in her mind, but it's just kind of like the cherry on the top of the cake after the team stuff. But incredible teams, incredible day, incredible athletes. It was great to watch.
So the Broncos will head to Ball State next week before the MAC championships. Northern Illinois will head to Michigan State down in East Lansing before they head to MAC championships. The Broncos win this one. They break a school record. So for Kim Dallas-Brown, our director, Chris Fish, and the rest of our outstanding Bronco Productions crew, I'm Kenny Scherlinger saying so long from Kalamazoo, where Western Michigan beats Northern Illinois here at University Arena on Senior Day. All the games are airing live on ESPN networks, are streaming live and archived on the ESPN app. This has been a presentation of ESPN. Have a great night, everybody.